Namaskar. Welcome to another episode of Editorial. Every night when I sit in front of you and comment on different topics, I don't comment as an expert. I'm no expert. What I try and do is I'll try and look at things from a layman's perspective. I try and derive my understanding from a layman's perspective, and I keep my thoughts in front of you from a layman's perspective. I talk what I understand as a layman. I have two topics today. My topic number one is Supreme Court reserves judgment on pleas challenging premature release of 11 convicts in Bilkis Bano's case. That's my topic number one. My topic number two is India ranks 111 on Global Hunger Index in 2023. Let's get right into the show and let's talk about it. The Supreme Court reserved their judgment against the Gujarat government. The Gujarat government who had granted remission to 11 convicts. The same 11 convicts who gang raped Bilkis Bano, who killed her family members. These people were set free under remission and the court reserves its judgment. The thing is, the hearing was going on 11 long days. The hearing was going on for 11 long days, starting from August. From August to now, 11 days was spent on hearing this case. And today the judges asked for original records from both, from the union government and the state government, and reserved their comments, reserved their judgment by apologies. Okay, just to brush your memory, let me tell you the exact case. On March 3rd, 2002, Bilkis Bano, who was then a 21-year-old girl, was 5 months pregnant. She was gang raped in Dahod district in Gujarat during the post-Godhra communal riots. 7 of her family members, including her 3-year-old daughter, was also killed by these rioters. You see, she knew these rapists. She knew these murderers. They were all neighbors. So therefore, she could actually tell the names of these people. Because she almost grew up in front of these murderers, these rapists. In 2008, after a trial was transferred to Maharashtra, a session court in Mumbai convicted the accused under section 302, 376, 2, E and G, read with section 149 of the Indian Penal Code, and handed them a life sentence. This is the story. During this hearing, the way her child was killed is described. I have it in front of me, but I can't. I don't want to read this. It's too graphic even for verbal description. But I will talk about one statement that Indra Jaisingh, one of the advocates fighting for Bilkis Bano case, what she said. The conscience of nation is reflected in the 3 organs of the state, and therefore the judgment this court will render will be a reflection of the conscience of the nation. I found this line to be so true. If those people walk free after committing gang rape, killing children, 7 members of our family, if they walk free, it reflects all our conscience, doesn't it? Doesn't it? It reflects the conscience of the nation, because as a nation, we're saying, theek hai, it's okay, ho gaya. Is that what you are saying? And I said in the beginning of my editorial that as a layman, I talk as a layman, I'm not an expert. I do not understand law. I'm not an expert in law. But as a layman, I'm asking you, is that what you want? Do you agree to it? Is that what our conscience is as a nation? That somebody who gang raped a 21-year-old girl, killed her children, we let them go? Killed her entire family, we let them go? This is my question number one. My question number two is, you see, something similar had happened in 2012, and that was Nirbhaya, an innocent girl. An innocent girl was again gang raped, brutally gang raped, brutally hurt. 4 convicts were hanged to death. 4 convicts were hanged to death. March 20th, 2020. After 7 years, it took 7 years for the judgment to happen, but they were hanged to death. A lot of us said it's correct. It's a lesson. Tell me, in one case where a girl is gang raped, her child is murdered, her family is murdered, and those convicts are let out under the remission policy. And in one case, and rightly so, rightly so, in Nirbhaya's case, where we caught the convict and we hung them, rightly so. But my point is, how are these two cases different? What is the Supreme Court reserving its judgment for? What are we even debating? If hanging Nirbhaya rapist was right, hanging or whatever, life imprisonment in this case of Bilkis Bano rapist is also correct. How can they be two different? As a layman, I do not understand this. This logic, I just don't get it. And that's why it took me a lot of time to even talk about this. I don't get this. Both are the same. 2 children of India were raped. Brutally raped. Both of them. In one case, her family was killed in front of her. One group of rapists gets hung and the other group of rapists is set free. And our courts are deliberating. Is it correct? Was it justice? What is the law? And so on and so forth. We are inspecting records. I just didn't get this. I just don't get it. I'm sure the Honorable Court has a reason. I'm sure the Honorable Court knows what they are doing, but I don't. As a layman, I don't. I'm wondering what's the deal. And that's the question I wanted to ask tonight. Let's go to my next topic. Like I always say, some topics are boring. A lot of people tell me, kya hai ye? Roj. But you know what? Our hunger index, we rank 111 amongst 125 countries. Our people are hungry. We have no right to sit here and praise ourselves. We have no right to sit here and call ourselves Vishwa Guru and call ourselves economically the fastest growing economy and economic superpower and GDP and all. We have no rights. Because till such time that one person in our country sleeps hungry, we have no right for that. And here we are 111th in the country. You tell me there are 111 countries whose people get fed. 111 countries above us. And maybe 14 countries below us who are worse than us. See, I question our priorities. What exactly is our priority? What exactly is our priority? Is our priority going around the world and saying how powerful we are or how well connected we are and how we influence certain wars and how we influence certain region or how we have other presidents coming and touching our feet? Is that our priority? Is that what we get enamored by? Or that child who's sleeping empty stomach tonight? Who should we be prioritizing? What should we be prioritizing? Somehow our priorities seem to be going wrong. What benefit if we go globetrotting and our children are hungry? What benefit is it? How are we calling ourselves successful and great and developing and all of that? How are we calling all of that when our people are hungry? And why are we not giving impetus to the fact that we are one of the worst countries when it comes to hunger index? We are one of the worst. There's just 14 countries below us. 111 countries feed their people better than we do. I don't understand this concept. A lot of people may turn back and say all these ratings are wrong. This also I don't understand. When ratings are for us, it is good. When ratings are against us, it is all conspiracy. ये भी मुझे नहीं समझ में आ रहा है. I don't understand this funda either. When news is for us, news is right. You see, New York Times said this. Washington Post said this. News is against us. Western media is always against us. I quite don't understand where our priority lies, and I quite don't understand how do we accept all this as the citizens of this country. How do we accept all these narratives? You see, the kind of advertising that these politicians release, and I'm not just talking about central government, and I'm not just talking about Prime Minister Modi, I'm talking about a lot of other state governments also. The kind of advertising that they release, for which they spend crores of rupees. Arey bhai, if you spend that money in your midday meals, at least some of these kids will get fed. Some of these kids will get fed. Why don't we understand that, and why don't we question that? Every time you see an ad in the newspaper, do not praise that leader. In fact, criticize that leader for spending your money and advertising his product. If Lifebuoy advertises, Hindustan Lever spends the money. You don't. Likewise, if a minister has to advertise, let him spend the money. Why are they taking the money from your pocket? That's the point I wanted to make. Till I see you next time. That's tomorrow at 10 o'clock. Namaskar.